Alright, hey, welcome to episode number 1 of Bathtime with Bill. Here we are in my wonderful bubble bath, just hanging out. And today, I figured I would talk to you about my favorite top 8 movies that are completely overlooked that nobody gives a shit about. So, first off, I'm going to talk about chillers. Okay, actually, this whole thing could basically be called 1987 and Trauma films also, because pretty much all of this stuff is released by Trauma, and pretty much all of it came out in 1987. So, Chillers, 1987 anthology film, released by Trauma, written and directed by Daniel Boyd. It's the tagline on the back says Chillers is one of the most horrifying movies ever made, and in so much as it's possibly one of the worst movies ever made, it is pretty horrifying. There's 5 people sitting around a bus stop, and their bus just never comes, and to kill the time, they're talking about their nightmares. And each anthology just gets more and more ludicrous. Each anthology just gets more and more ludicrous. There's vampires and a demonic swimming pool coach, evil Boy Scouts. This is not a bad way to spend 90 minutes, and it's pretty terrible. I love it. Next up on my list is Redneck Zombies, 1987. This is notable as being the first shot entirely on consumer camcorder and released on videotape movie that was out there. This is also by Trauma. This is a special 20th anniversary edition that includes the soundtrack on CD. Now that's something that'll drive you crazy. The director, Persicles Lunis, he had the notable talent of being the special effects supervisor on Toxic Avenger 2, Toxic Avenger 3, Trauma's War, and also Shatter Dead. So this one is fantastic. An army colonel is driving through the woods with a barrel of toxic waste in the back of his Jeep, and he goes off-road, and the barrel rolls into the woods and ends up leaking into the hillbillies' moonshine still, and their supply of moonshine gets tainted by the toxic waste and turns the rednecks into zombies. I don't know if you can see some of this wonderful zombie action here, and this is just absolutely fantastic. There is a completely out of place acid trip that has no business being there. A scene that's about a 5-minute acid trip right in the middle of it. There's no bearing on the movie whatsoever. Fantastic. This is one of my favorite terrible movies. You gotta seek this out. This is great. Next up on the list, Creeazoids, another movie from 1987. This one is released by Full Moon Features. This has Linnea Quigley in it, when she was, kind of desperate for movies. This is just notable in so much as how terrible it is. It's another bad alien ripoff filmed in about 2 weeks in a soundstage in LA. This was made in '87, and it is look at that cover art. That's great. That has nothing to do with the movie. Um, this is set in the advanced age of 1998, 6 years after a nuclear apocalypse, and the fallout has caused horrible acid rain. So there are a group of army deserters, and they're taking refuge in what they think is an abandoned laboratory complex, but they soon find out that it was a top secret government research facility. Oh yes, and there's a hideous creature lurking for them. It's just awful. And it's one of my favorites as well. So that's three of the 8. Moving on to number 4. Back to 1987. Tim Ritter's Killing Spree. And that is all this is. It is straight up a killing spree. This follows a guy who is completely crazy and thinks that his wife is cheating on him with everyone that he sees, and he just runs around murdering them in creative ways, and they all come back as zombies. I'm underselling this. I'm underselling this by a lot. It's absolutely fantastic. And this guy here, the lead actor, he calls himself Asbestos Felt. And I have a friend in Florida that goes to karaoke a lot. And apparently this guy shows up and sings karaoke with her. So there's that. That's another reason why you should buy this DVD, so this guy can get more drinks at karaoke. Next one, I'm kind of cheating. It's 2 movies on one disc. This is Killer Nerd and Bride of Killer Nerd, 1991 and 1992, also released by Troma. Toby Radloff, right here. This man is a genius, an absolute genius. He had a show on public access TV for quite a while too. This is your basic: the bullies beat up the nerd snaps and gets revenge and starts killing people, including his mother. But that doesn't even begin to describe this. Like, Toby goes on crazy rants and just starts chanting, "Nerd, nerd, 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 nerd." Unbelievable. I mean, there he is wielding a gun. And in Bride of Nerd, Toby finally gets himself a girlfriend, but a group of mean girls pick on his girlfriend. So the sequel is pretty much a repeat of what we saw in the first one. But it's just, this is a pure classic right here. Bringing me to number 7, Pieces. You don't have to go to Texas for a chainsaw massacre. This is one of my favorite slasher films, actually. This is a Spanish-made slasher film. It stars Christopher George and Linda Day. It's supposed to be set on a college campus in Boston. The killer is taking body pieces of his victims to form a jigsaw puzzle. Absolutely phenomenal slasher. And this is, in fact, a really nice Blu-ray release that Grindhouse Releasing just put out of this. 2 Blu-rays, CD, poster. Fantastic movie. Get your hands on a copy of this. You won't be disappointed. A bunch of you probably have already seen it, actually, but this is a fantastic movie. And the last one is a favorite of mine, also a Troma movie. 1980s, The Children by Carlton J. Albright. A chemical plant in town has a small high pressure leak. It's the end of the day. The two guys that are working on the plant don't quite take care of it. A yellow cloud goes through the neighborhood and hits the school bus full of kids, and the kids become zombies with black fingernails that microwave all of the adults that they touch. This is a real horror movie. Like, this is scary. This is good. Yeah. Anyway, this is Bath Time with Bill. This is my first episode, and if you want to see anything else, send me an email, bathtimewithbill@gmail.com, and like the page, send me your suggestions, and I'll be doing some more episodes. So thanks a lot.